Once again, we are back. Only this time, we're taking it back to 1999, which was before we forgot our manners. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Andrea.
And we are relatively unstable. So tonight we are taking everybody back to a relatively unstable year in history. It was a precipice year. Everybody was, worried about what was going to happen in 2000. So in 1999, though, Andrea was a senior in high school, right?
Yep.
And so she was on the brink of something new. And tomorrow, Andrea will also be on the brink of something new. On the brink of a precipice year, big word, yes.
Yes.
She will be turning 39.
Yeah.
So let's get all this out before 40. Let's go.
You're right.
Let's go back to how we were feeling and what we were doing in the last big precipice year. How fun is it that Andrea turns 39?
Yeah.
Or when we can do that. And make sure you like, follow, share, and subscribe. We have to do that because that's what everybody does, and we need you to. We want to keep doing this. We do it for ourselves, but we'd like to think we do it for you too.
I mean, for somebody.
For somebody.
For somebody. Somebody listen.
Just my mother. Hi, Mom. So make sure you do all that. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube. Check us out on all the streaming services. Let's do this. 1999. We'd love to play sound bites, but I don't know all the copyright rules. Anybody want to help us out with that?
Right.
What were you doing in 19? Tell us about Andrea of 1999.
Oh, Andrea of 1999 was, oh man, kind of similar to Andrea of 39, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I really had no idea. Like I never was one of those girls that like, oh, I need to be married at 35. I mean, at 25, and I need to be done with college by this time, and I'm starting a grad program, and I'm gonna have a kid at 30. Like I never really planned my life out that way. So like, I didn't know what the hell I was gonna do. I got accepted to a art college in Georgia, and despite both my parents being very adamant about me going to college, had saved up exactly $0 to send me there. So that's cool. So I was like, oh, okay. So no money. That's sweet. So then I went to Wayne, which was a decision. I can't say if it was good or bad.
Sigh.
I mean, Wayne State is great for certain fields. I don't think it was great for art, but at least in my perspective, maybe fine arts, but maybe not like graphic design. Mm-hmm. And like I kind of just him haul through life. Like I really had no goals, and I still really don't have any goals.
I would argue. I challenge you on that because you knew you wanted to do something artistic. You knew you wanted to do something.
That's true.
So
well, yes and no. So, I guess much like a lot of Black parents, like, they push you to be something that can be profitable for you, so, something that you can be successful at. And a lot of Black parents don't really think that art is that thing. So like, I was like, I'm going to be a business major and I'm going to minor in design because then that's going to make me more marketable. And so after I failed, after I failed macro and microeconomics 3 times each, so that's 9 different classes that I failed or dropped.
I know this girl.
I was like, oh, so maybe business is not what I should be doing. And I took an art class and the rest was history. Like, I just was like, yeah. And I still really didn't know that it was going to work out. Like, I really wasn't, I was just like, well, I can't stomach these business classes. Like, I can't do it. Like, I dropped or stopped going to these econ classes at the same time every semester. Like, I was good up until maybe like the first month and a half. And then after that, I was like, yeah, I'm out. Like, I can't do this.
That was in your biology at Wayne.
Yeah, I don't know what I would have done if I had to take a biology class.
Dropped it?
Yep. Yeah, probably. So, yeah, so I still really didn't know, but I was like, well, I'm just going to do what feels right, which is still how I kind of live my life. Like, I just kind of do what I think is the right thing. And, you know, I got my motto, everything always works out right for me, always. So that kind of keeps me going. And I've lucked out so far. So
that's that Leo confidence and courage that us flighty Pisces can't really claim as an attribute. We're fight or flight. We're either swimming in the direction of it or swimming away.
Or going away.
We always come back home, but you never know where we're going to end up. So while Andrea was deciding all these things, the world was actually very different.
Yeah.
Things were very different. We kind of think like, oh, we're the same people, but thinking about our resources, things were different.
Like I didn't even have an email address. Like, right. I got my first email address in college, which if anybody younger than, I guess, 15 would be watching this, they'd be like,
right,
how do you not have an email address?
You were saving your work on floppy disks.
Correct. Like, it was a whole thing.
I'll tell you what, I was just learning how to use a computer. I really didn't know how to or the internet, not a computer, but the internet.
Yeah.
Like, I really didn't know. And I was older than you in 1999. I was 23. No, 24. 24 in 1999. I was a slow starter. But I also had a 3-year-old. I had a baby in 1996. So I was kind of behind the times because while all my friends were doing the things you were doing, they were already in college and away. I was being mommy. But actually things kind of, 1999 was a turnkey year for me. So in 1999, we were all looking forward to the turn of the century, which seems funny because so many things have changed since then. The things that we thought would be probably are not. We don't have like the flying cars and all that kind of stuff. But back then, it's comical, but we had VHS, like we had DVD players, right? DVD. I'm like DVD. We had VHS. We had, we were still looking in the yellow pages.
Yep.
We were looking up jobs in the paper.
Yep.
We were looking up movies in the paper.
Or calling the movie phone.
Yes. We had We had Star 69. I don't know that people still do all that stuff. I don't know if that's the one that blocks you or the one that calls back.
I think that's the one that
blocks you.
Wait. Yeah, I think that's the one that blocks you.
I've never been slick enough to.
Was it a Star 67 too? Because I feel like
I think so. One blocked you and one returned the call. Is that right?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know. We also had caller ID attached to our phones.
Yep.
Like a big
and
caller
answer
ID
machines.
box. Yeah, yes, the answering machine. So we had all that. We had the Walkman.
Yeah.
We were jogging down.
Discman.
Yep. Discman. What were you listening to on your Discman?
So, I had. Oh, in '99, what was I listening to? Probably something Jay-Z. Yeah, I was a big Jay-Z fan. I mean, I'm still a Jay-Z fan, but I was like a really big Jay-Z fan back then. And then by the time I got to college later on that year in like 2000, I had graduated to making my own CDs. So I made little mixes for myself. So which is also like, that's not even a thing really. Like people just make playlists on Spotify and send it.
Yep. So if I had to jog my memory, and I had to see what was going on in 1999 in music.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. We were listening to. I remember that as soon as I saw it, I was like, yes. So to your point, can I get a? That was my song in my Discman while I was jogging down Outer Drive to distract me. I would sing that song in my head because I knew all the words.
Uh-huh.
And so I would just play it over and over again in my head. But that was also a surprisingly big Whitney Houston year.
Yes.
That was a big Whitney Houston year. She had It's Not Right, But It's Okay. So I guess this was like a comeback year for her. My Love Is Your Love.
Those are some bops.
Yeah. Lauryn Hill had Yep. Lauryn Hill was hot. She was still showing up on time.
Yeah.
You know, let's see, who else Where My Girls At? That was my jam.
Oh, that was my jam.
Yeah. I don't know who I thought I was calling them to come check me with, but yeah. But I was feeling it. What else? Mambo number 5.
Oh my God.
Point that out.
I feel like
that. Hot.
Oh yes, she was hot. I feel like that Mambo number 5. I mean, and I think only people that are local to us will understand this reference. But I feel like Mambo number 5 played consistently at Club Blue on Woodward. Like I feel like that's the only place that it really played, and like in Royal Oak, like Fifth Avenue, Royal Oak, and Blue on Woodward. That's it.
So wait, so Mariah Carey was hot, but let me tell you, so the song that I feel like is most associated with 1999 is Back That Ass Up, Juvenile.
Oh,
that's definitive 1999.
Yes.
So we have to,
for the 99 and the 2000.
We have to recognize. That. But to your point about the clubs, where were we hanging out in 19? You were in high school, so what were you doing at Blue?
Oh, I wasn't at Blue. I didn't really start going to clubs or going out really until I was about 25.
Okay.
So so a lot of like, so between 99 and I guess 2006, I had my ass in a house, and I would go out every once in a while after I turned 21, but yeah, I was a homebody. I mean, and that hasn't changed. But when I got to be 25, I started going out a little more, and it was still just kind of like it wasn't like, it never really was my scene because I never wanted to dress up. So like I never like, you know, everybody was young and slim and all of that. So, you know, everybody wanted to wear, you know, the highest heels and the tightest clothes. And I mean, I was younger and slimmer, but I still wasn't necessarily like slim like my friends were. So I didn't,
You are
yeah, I was
petite
like,
with large boobs. How much better can
they didn't, they weren't, that is a recent development kind of. Like, I don't know where the hell they came from, to be honest. Like, I mean,
really?
I guess, yeah, like they kind of, yeah, I actually don't know when they started to grow.
Like that
I
gives
don't
you
know.
kind of a spread, a cultural spread.
Yeah, like I didn't, yeah, I mean, I definitely was bustier than then I had a booty, but they didn't start growing until like probably like about 5 to 7 years ago. It's
In
weird.
your
I
30s?
think, yeah. I'm
Hey,
like,
bonus.
oh, yeah.
Everybody doesn't get that kind of bonus. Other things grow that you don't want to grow in your 30s.
Well, I mean, my stomach also grew. So, I mean, but one thing that I need to point out on this podcast that we also need to talk about is the tit to tummy ratio. It's
Oh,
very important.
very important.
It's very important.
This is a
And
good point.
like, you have to have a good tit to tummy ratio, because like if you can look down and see your tummy before your tits,
Work on that.
work on that.
And
If you can.
If you can. Now, if you can't, go see Dr. Griffin from the lab.
Right.
I mean, we are solutions oriented.
Right.
And the tit to tummy ratio is that is a hard thing to work on the older you get, and especially after you have children, because it gets a little sadder up top and a little fuller on the bottom, and it requires a lot of specified exercises to really keep it together. So empathy, there, I struggle. Andrea is fortunate enough to be voluminous enough on top that to catch up, it'll take a little bit longer.
I mean, but I just downed what is this? A 6-pack of powdered donuts.
Yuck.
And I washed it down with a Red Bull. So, I mean, in 6 months we might be having a completely different conversation about tit to tummy ratios.
Raw calories don't count. And Andrea is currently on her way to DC to serve the White House their walking papers. I'm
yes.
guessing. I think that's what she's doing. But she is joining us from the road.
Biden-Harris 2020. Even if you don't like her, Biden-Harris 2020. Get it together, y'all.
I support that statement. I think we need to stop right here and reiterate that. Biden-Harris 2020. Don't let your ego, don't let your need to argue get in the way of change. And this is also perfect for this. This is a year of change. We're not going to go into all this right this moment, but we will probably say at every podcast from here on out, vote.
Biden-Harris.
Biden-Harris 2020. Lots on the line here. Lots on the line. Would you leave your children with that man, that excuse for a man that's in the Oval Office? Would you leave your mother with him? Would you really want to be in the room with him? for any reason? Would you let him write your bio? Would you let, so would you let him speak on your behalf at your job? Think about those things. Would you let him tell your doctor how to treat you? Think about these things. So, precipice year, vote. Mm-hmm. Vote, vote, vote. Biden-Harris 2020. We'll get back to that. But remember it, lock it in. No excuses. No excuses.
No excuses. No excuses.
So in 1999, who was president? It was Bill Clinton.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'm sorry. Can't nobody say nothing too much bad about Billy for me.
Yeah.
He made some bad judgments,
I mean, and I think, I mean, and I, I'm sure that we'll have an episode about like the politics and the election and all of that in the upcoming months, but
with somebody much smarter and more articulate on it.
Yeah. But keep in mind that like presidents are human. I mean, we happen, except for the one that we have now.
No, that's not a human. I don't know what that is.
I am. Yeah, it's not human, but they make choices that are difficult, that may be influenced by their own biases, and they're flawed human beings. And if they are, the meme that's going around is like, voting for a president is like catching a train. Like, if it's not going to your particular destination, you don't not get on the train. You just take the train that's going the way that you're going. So, like, Biden-Harris is going the way that we need this country to go. And it may not be, they may not stop at your stop. They may not take you all the way there, but they are at least going in the direction instead of going backwards. So
I like this girl.
That's what we got to think about. Like, they're not going to solve reparations and police brutality and all of that and healthcare and education. They're not going to solve all of that in 4 years or 8 years or 12 years, but they will get us closer. So get on the train.
They won't have us
2020.
Right. They won't have us like, I don't know, gardening, trying to garden in infertile soil because everything is obliterated. They won't have us, in bomb shelters and, I know those are extreme. I love Interstellar. Love it.
But even think about where we are right now. Like, if there was a Biden-Harris or hell, even a Hillary Clinton presidency, we would not be still quarantining essentially in this pandemic. It would have been eradicated, like much like Ebola was when Obama, and much like SARS was. Like, it would have been contained. So like, y'all all up in arms about these damn masks. Well, stay the hell home, since our president can't apparently say that. And Biden-Harris 2020. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
And the more we go on, we'll be more educated. But even if we aren't, Biden-Harris 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Back to 1999.
Yes.
So 1999. I forgot what we were talking about. Oh, clubs. So you were at home. You were in high school at home, getting ready to graduate, prom, all that.
Okay.
So while Andrea was getting ready to graduate and do all her senior year stuff, mm-hmm. I, who had kind of went straight from graduation, I went to school for 2 years. So I went to Wayne State for 2 years, but again, all my friends were gone. I had a baby. I was just starting to really get out. So in 1999, in Detroit, I was hanging out with, who was I hanging out with? Who was I hanging out with? I think at that time I had already met, so we had Cool Mark on the episode, so we had met his crew. Who else was popping back then? I can't remember. Who was throwing parties back then? I need my sisters. So that was Fearless Productions, the Legacy crew, the Legacy Associates Foundation were throwing parties all the time. We were going to those parties, and there was one Third Eye. So all those parties, and then those were like the three major circles I was traveling in. But also there were some randoms that I would find myself attending occasionally, and we were at Blue. We were at where were we? The Tiger Club, Second City. What other? Oh, duh, River Rock. Now,
of course.
Shout out to Moby, who basically, took over the River Rock back then. However, that was not really my entire scene. I was there occasionally.
I've never been there.
I honestly think I only went twice, but that's because I hung out with his best friend at the time, and we all went to high school together. So I was not working. I was unemployed in 1999. So I didn't have to get up and do anything in particular. My son was already in bed. So yeah, I was all over the place, completely unfocused, and just starting to get to know the lay of the land outside of the house. Because up until that point, I had really been the same as you. I was kind of in the house, whatever. But then I started feeling cute. Started working my connections, started making connections and working them. I'm like, okay, well, I know so-and-so. And I'm not standing in line. I'm like, can I please, if I come really early, can I please get in? Because I don't have any money. Please. I'm not trying to stunt. I just want to hang out. I just want to hang out. Will you let me hang out, please? And some people had mercy on me. Legends, which is now a strip club.
Yes. Legends. I think I only went there like once, maybe.
Oh my God, I was there all the time. All the time. I had a bad night there one night. That probably wasn't 1999. That was a little later. I had a bad night there though. I had a cold, and my friend told me the way to knock out this cold is to drink Hennessy. Something I don't mess with at all.
Right.
And yeah, oh gosh, I'm surprised she or my sister forgave me. Fun fact about myself is just make sure I feel okay before I get in your car after a night out.
Oh, I know that life. I know that life. Because that life for me is like, it always seems like a good idea to take a nap. Like, you're so drunk and you're so like whatever that you're like, oh, I just need to sleep. And I don't know if the sleep like activates the throwing up, but as soon as you get any kind of consciousness, it is on and popping.
Whatever is in your way.
It is. Like, for real. Like, I have a story like that too, where I was like, damn, my bad, girl. Like,
I owe several people detail jobs.
Yep.
Including, yeah, and it didn't stop. I mean, I just don't know how to behave. So I try. I have grown. I have things to do now. I have to be productive. So, you know, I try to make sure I have a nice water to liquor ratio.
Okay.
What is this girl doing?
I think I'm gonna get back on the road. So I'm trying to see. This is so ghetto, but this is why we're unstable. So this is it. So I'm gonna just section that off like that. Well, I mean it's not the best angle, but hey
You're
y'all.
cute. You're still cute. You're cute and safe.
And safe.
Is your phone secure?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, so we were hanging out with like those crews back then, and always hanging out with my sisters. Liv was still a little bit young at that time, but probably the next year she started popping on the scene. So in 2000 or in 1999, Andrea, what were you looking forward to?
Probably getting out of my mother's house, but that didn't happen until about 5 years later. Just because like I was working, where was I working in 99? Oh, I was working at Lids in Oakland Mall. Yep. And so like, I was making like a little better than minimum wage, but not much. So, yeah, like I was like, oh, and I had met this guy that I thought was like just everything. And he was, I don't think he was necessarily well off, but his parents were. And actually, I think about his parents more than I think about him now, because I love his mother, and apparently she passed away last year.
Aww.
But yeah, so like he wasn't well off, but his parents were, and so he like he bought me my first cell phone, and used to like buy me all kinds of things all the time. And
this was a priority. A priority for a senior in 1999.
Yes, very much so. So it was cute, but yeah. So like, yeah, it probably was like. I mean, honestly, like I didn't start making like real, like I didn't start making enough money to move out and live on my own probably until maybe I was like 26 or 27. I was a late bloomer. So, but I ended up moving out of my mom's house at 24 because my dad had passed away and I inherited his house. And then I got like life insurance money and retirement money and all that kind of stuff. So I was able to use that to like fix up the house and kind of live off of it for a little bit while I took very small paying jobs. Okay. So yeah, so by the time I was 24 and like life insurance money had ran out, then that's when I started like trying to work like a for real job, and that took a couple years. So yeah, it's been. This goes back to like not having goals and like not really having like an idea. Like I literally just say things that I want to happen, and I don't necessarily put any real action towards it, but then it just happens. So
this is why I need your energy, because that's not necessarily quite how it goes.
So I'm just gonna say on this podcast that I would like for both of us to be millionaires.
Nice.
And we'll just see what happens with that.
And that's kind of how I operate. Let's just see what happens. So
let's just see what happens.
If you could tell your 1999 Andrea something that would better prepare 2020 Andrea to deal with certain things, what would it be?
I would tell her a lot of things, but I guess the top 3 things I think I would tell her would be to work on your confidence. You are much doper than you think you are, and ease up on the pizza.
Pizza is important.
And learn how to be better with money, like at 18, instead of waiting until, well, I guess I'm still waiting for that, but waiting until you're almost 40 to kind of get okay with money. Like, get it together in your 20s when it's not as life or death to not have money, so
yeah. No, those are some good ones. What
would you tell 1999 Tiffany?
Oh, I would tell that girl so much. I would tell that girl, because I really was, even though I had a son, and I think I was a pretty good mommy, like for as much as I was hanging out, he went to bed first. I didn't miss a moment. I might come home at 5 a.m., but I was dressed and ready to be coaching baseball at 7. But I would tell her she's in charge. Quit letting other people lead you, I would tell her get a mentor.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I would tell her to do that. I would tell her love isn't always what you think it is.
That's also a good one.
Mm-hmm. I would tell her you have time, but not that much time.
Yeah.
I would also school her on money, because I would tell her to find somebody else to school her on money, because I still don't have the skills to tell that girl about money. I would tell her take better care of her body. And that her body is not a tool. And make sure she drinks water and uses sunscreen. And
well, you can tell that to me now.
Right. And you know what? I think I would tell her to move.
Yes.
I think I would tell her to move.
1,000%. Even if it's just for a year.
Yep. I think I would tell her to try something new. Move.
Yep. That's my biggest regret. Like, I was kind of, when I graduated, like I said, like, my parents didn't have any money to send me, and I didn't really have anybody to kind of coach me on financial aid or anything. Like, so Wayne State was like the path of least resistance this for me. So after I finished, like, I wish I would have said, you know what, I'm just gonna move to Chicago because that's where everybody was moving, or Atlanta, you know, and just kind of see what could happen, because, you know, technically I've been trying to move out of Detroit since I was 18. So, you know, that's a good 21 years almost. So, like, yeah, I mean, I could have been, even if it was a year or two, you know, or I hated it, or like realized how much I missed my family and friends. Like, I think I could have grown from that experience of like living somewhere else. And I still want to be honest.
Go for it.
Yeah.
And I still need a mentor, by the way. I'm a
Same.
follower. Natasha might be the one.
No, but like for real though. Like
the 15-year-old.
Little sis, go ahead and put me down to be your mentee at 39.
Seriously. If you haven't seen her, make sure you check out Natasha, who we had a little quick interview with, 15-year-old who's already getting herself together and is already smarter, clearly, than both of our 1999 selves in 2020. So I don't know, Andrea. I wonder if we're being. I will say this. In spite of all the advice I would give myself, my 1999-year-old self, I had so much fun.
Yeah.
You know, I think 1999 for me was like the year before I made terribly, you know, like my worst decisions. So we can talk about that later. That was the year before I just really got beside myself. And, you know, I would also just be sure to tell 1999 Tiffany that the circle is small. You know, choose wisely.
Yep.
Choose wisely. And that's not just men, that's friends, that's whatever. That's jobs, that's all of the above. However, in 1999, I partied like it was 1999.
See, and I can't even. Yeah, like I can't even say. So you were what, 24 in 99?
Yeah.
Okay, so my equivalent. So when I was 24 and in 25, like I said, that was when I started to like go out to like bars and clubs and stuff. But it wasn't really fun for me. So I didn't really start having fun probably until like my 30s. And even then, it was still kind of like, you know, 30-year-old fun, not like reckless 20-year-old fun. So I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna have a hot girl decade in my 40s.
Do it, girl. Do it. Sidebar. Let's have another talk about 30s, because to me, 30s is an important decade. I will say the first few years of my 30s was probably the best. Those would be like from 30 to 33 were, you know, now I have a good life. I love my life. I love my family. But if we're talking about the single girl life and just getting to know yourself and come into your own and be comfortable in who you are without really, you know, oh my gosh, nothing like those years, because you know more than you knew in your 20s. You look better than you did in your 40s. You feel better.
You got a little money
you got a little bit of money. So, you know, situations and scenarios, and you can make some better choices, or you can make bad choices and be fully aware of them at the time. So we'll talk about the 30s another time, but I would say 1999-year-old Tiffany and Andrea, look forward to your 30s.
Yes.
You know, 20s are cool because you're just cute. You know, you can't get much cuter than the 20s.
Right.
You have full hair. You have your eyebrows. You don't need to draw them on. The skin is tight. The skin just is so, you know, you can tan and you don't realize the damage that it's gonna do yet. And you're just bronze and tight, and you have a thick mane of hair, and you don't really know any better. Oh, the 20s. 20s, and you're poor and you don't care.
You don't care.
You don't care.
Like I was telling this story about and it's funny because this guy, even though I met him on some kind of like dating app, he actually has a few mutual friends. So anyway, long story short, back when I was broke in my 20s, and I was living in my dad's house, so this had to be like after 2004. And like I literally was making $12 an hour part-time. Okay, so I was like broke. Okay, and like I was working a lot. I was freelancing, and trying to like supplement my little income. And he came over to my house, and he literally was completely turned off by the fact that I didn't have a TV stand. And so much so, even though while he was there, we continued to make out. So that didn't stop. But
a little thing like a TV stand keep him from getting a booty.
Right. So then he called me or texted me the next day in very serious tone. It was very like, I need to have a talk with you. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what's like, do I need to sit down? Like, is this like a thing? And he was like, I can't remember exactly what he said, but basically he was like, yeah, I just thought that your place would have been a little more together. And I, you know, like you don't have a TV stand and like you could just use crates, you know, just to have something. And I was like, sir, I'm making $12 an hour. Like, sure, I could have my TV on a crate. You're absolutely right. And crates cost nothing. You're absolutely right. However, I'm kind of focused on keeping the lights on, the internet on, the heat on, gas in my car, like the shit that I have to do to live. So decorating, and oddly enough, this is still my thing. Like my apartment is not decorated like as one might think it would be, being that I'm a creative or whatever. But like I just don't really prioritize that. And I guess I don't prioritize that now, and I guess I didn't then either. But like I was like, how the fuck you judging me about a TV stand? And like I'm telling you, like I'm barely making it. Barely making it. I mean, if you want to fucking contribute, then yes, let's have this serious conversation about my TV stand. But otherwise, shut the fuck up.
Right. Or sit down here on this floor at eye level with the TV and let's watch.
And let's watch something. Let's watch Love Jones.
Oh yeah. Wait. Speaking of Love Jones, I feel like I just need to because I looked it up, I did my homework this time. The movies that we were watching in 1999 that were setting us up for failure were Best Man.
Oh, yeah.
The Wood.
Oh.
And I'm saving the best for last, Life.
So, those some good ass movies. I've only seen a few snippets of Life, but The Best Man. Yep. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a whole thing.
I don't know her.
I'm on a podcast with her, but I don't know her.
It comes on TV like every weekend.
I'm gonna have to watch it soon. But yeah, I've only seen snippets.
Okay, so a couple episodes ago we talked about Andrea's meme deficiency, and now we have to discuss Life. Now, I'll give you a little pass because in 1999, maybe you were so busy with senior activities and looking up colleges, you couldn't get to the movies. But
it's been 20 years.
It's been 20 years. Get it together.
Yeah.
You have to know the Life references.
But to be fair, who counts? To be fair, there is you got to do that, right? Like you got to point to the cows. To be fair, I'm not really a movie person, and the movies that I do watch, I just watch them over and over and over again. So like, I don't really watch new movies, even though that's not new. But what I'm saying is that like, even back in '99, like I was watching shit, I don't know, over and over again, probably like Clue. And I don't know, Purple Rain, something like that. But so yeah, I'm at like a 10-year. Oh shoot, is this where I'm supposed to go?
Oh shit.
Yes. Yeah. So, but my meme game is coming up, so my movie deficiency will also be improved.
Okay, we'll hold you to that. I think I have to. I think 1999. So Notting Hill came out in 1999, and I think that was like maybe the start of my Hugh Grant movie fascination. Like I'm really into all the Richard Curtis movies, Love Actually, you know, and what's the other one? Notting Hill, Love Actually. Can't think of it, but anyway, that was 1999. Obviously, there were more movies. Those were significant enough for me to feel like I needed to call them out. Especially for us as Black people, we all flock to see those movies. The movies pretty terrible, but I've watched it several times.
What are your thoughts? Okay, so obviously, Best Man was a classic. Even
oh wait, hold on, real quick, Lauren, you're on speakerphone on the podcast.
She's like, no.
We're filming the podcast right now, and you called, and I put you on speakerphone.
I don't even know how to use phone for calling people. I called the wrong person.
You
I'm so bye. I need to call you.
Bye. So I only answered the phone because she never calls me. Never. But yeah, so you were talking about The Wood.
No, The Best Man.
Oh, The Best Man.
So What did you think about The Best Man Holiday?
I thought it was garbage.
Really?
Well, except, let me say this. I can't go that far. Let me tell you what I feel was bad about it. I hate saying this on a public forum, but I'm going to say it because I promise to say what I feel. And I feel like I wish they had recast Monica Calhoun. And I feel like I wish they had cut out the scene where the kids were singing. And I feel like I wish they had cut out the scene where she was singing. However, I do so enjoy Terrence Howard.
Going back the way that I came from.
So Andrea, I had to pause our recording because Andrea went the wrong way and now she's going back the way she came. So,
adventures and road tripping with Andrea. This is pretty much how it goes. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be distracted if I was not on a podcast, but like, it's cool. But because this is fun, it's it's keeping my mind off of the fact that I still have like 3 more hours to go. So
don't do this at home.
Yeah, don't do this at home because you will get lost.
So I don't know if you heard me talking about my assessment of The Best Man.
Yes, you said that you wish Monica was cast differently.
Yes, and I love Terrence Howard. I know he's a bit of a train wreck, but I enjoy his characters. He just plays them so well.
Yeah, I loved him in The Best Man. I think he has some of the best lines in The First Best Man.
Absolutely, but it's his body language too. His body language in movies is great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not enough to make me watch Empire, but
true.
Can't do it, but you know, prosper. But so your thoughts on Best Man Holiday?
I actually liked it. I mean, I also, because I don't watch a lot of movies, like I don't really have a big, like I'm not too critical about them. Like if it's moderately entertaining and I can follow along, then it's a decent movie to me. Like I don't really I'm not like, oh, the lighting was off or
no, I don't get into that.
Yeah, like I just kind of like, okay, whatever. Yeah, it was fine.
Oh, I'm not hard to please. There are only a few movies, and be clear, I've watched Best Man Holiday probably about 6 times. Just because it's easy, it's an easy watch.
Right.
And almost everyone in it is pretty. It's a Black movie, so for the most part, I'm gonna support a Black movie. At least one. At least one.
Right.
I don't know. I'm trying to think of a movie that was so bad I just couldn't get through it.
I felt that way about The Photograph. I got through it, but yikes.
Photograph. I haven't revisited it, but I remember on the way home, Howard and I were talking about it, and there were some criticisms that we had, but it was I thought it was visually beautiful.
Yes.
And I felt like there were just I don't know. It was predictable.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't call that a movie. Let me tell you, I just popped into my mind what movie I felt was just absolutely terrible. And it had good people in it. How Stella Got Her Groove Back.
I don't think I ever seen that.
Don't bother. Read the book if you want to know the story. but that was a terrible movie. That was an absolutely terrible movie. I couldn't with that one. I'm trying to. I'm sure I've seen. Showgirls.
Oh, I've never seen that.
Awful movie. I know it's a pop culture, like everyone loves it. It was awful. We're off track. 1999. But this is who we are. So how do we even get here?
I don't even know. I don't even know where I am in the world right now. Like I think I'm going the right way. I probably need to get off and focus.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So look, we're gonna wrap this up so Andrea can make it to her destination safely. I hope that everyone will take time out to wish our Lady Leo a very happy birthday. So glad that you are part of my world, and everyone else, I just would like to go on record as saying I am so grateful to Andrea, and I'm thankful that she's sharing her birthday with us, her birthday adventure.
This is an adventure.
We can't wait to celebrate 40 with you next year.
Yes.
We're looking forward to all of the things that 39 brings. And since everything always works out for you always,
yep,
and we are part of that, we're all gonna look forward to some really fun, cool things this year, some new things. We're gonna look for big things from you. You've got this was a big year for you. Mm-hmm. So going forward, you've got bigger things coming up. You've been preparing for this. Hopefully it works out for you, and it's gonna work out for you this time. You're gonna get to your destination safely, and because everyone is gonna like, follow, subscribe, and share, we will see you on the other side of it.
Yes, that's what I want for my birthday. I want everybody to like, follow, share, subscribe, whatever else you do. That's what you can give me for my birthday, is to do that.
And so it shall be. Until next, we'll be checking in on Andrea on IG. We'll catch up with her, hopefully when she is stationary and enjoying herself. And until the next time, we got some fun stuff coming up for you guys. Some fun episodes coming up, so make sure you keep an eye out. And happy birthday, Andrea. We need Jimmy on the wheel.
Right, no, on the wheel. 10 and 2.
We'll let you know. We'll let 10 and 2, and we'll let you know when she makes it. Thanks for sticking with us. We always say, we don't care, we care. We care very deeply.
Very deeply.
We are emotional creatures. We are so glad that those of you, hi Mom, who are still rocking with us. Still rocking with us. Let's grow this shit. Andrea, if that's what Andrea wants, let's do this. Let's give her what she wants. The Leo always gets the prey. The lion always catches the prey.
Yes.
The ladies are the hunters. Let's get it. All right. We're out, you guys.
Bye, guys.